Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a concept that's totally rewriting the rules of real estate. It's called fractional property ownership. And look, if you've ever felt like owning property is just way out of your league, this explainer is going to show you a whole new way to think about it. So let's just get right to it with a question that's probably on a lot of our minds. When you look at the property market today, the crazy prices, the insane down payments, does it just feel completely and utterly impossible? And you are definitely not alone in feeling that way. I mean, for a massive number of young professionals and students, that whole property ladder thing, it doesn't feel like a ladder at all. It feels more like a sheer cliff with no handholds. So let's talk about that old model for a second. For generations, the way to own property was pretty clear, right? But it was also incredibly hard. And let's be honest, that climb has only gotten steeper. I mean, just think about it. You have to save for years and years just to get a down payment together. Then you take on this massive 20 or 30-year loan that just hangs over your head. You're tied to one single, super expensive asset. It's no surprise so many of us feel completely priced out of the cities we actually live and work in. But what if there's a totally different way to play the game? And this is where that new door opens, and it's all powered by technology. Fractional ownership isn't just some small change to the old system. Nope, it's a fundamental shift in how we can even think about investing in real estate. So what is it exactly? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Instead of one person buying a whole property, a bunch of people get together and co-own it. You buy a piece, a fraction, or a share, and that little piece gives you real, actual, legal ownership rights. Okay, let's make this super concrete with an example. Picture a really nice apartment worth, say, 1 crore rupees. That's about 120,000 US dollars. Instead of you needing all of that cash, the property gets divided up into, let's say, 10 shares of 10 lakh rupees each. You buy just one of those shares, and boom. Just like that, you are a legal co-owner of that awesome property. And this right here is the most important part. This is not some casual handshake deal. We're talking about real, registered ownership. In many countries, like India, this is all regulated by official bodies like RERA, the Real Estate Regulatory Authority, that's there to make sure every transaction is secure, transparent, and totally legit. So what's the big advantage here? Why is this such a modern approach? Well, it's all about making property ownership way smarter, more flexible, and honestly, just accessible enough for how we live today. You know, this really taps into a mindset that's already second nature to us. We share rides, we use co-working spaces. The whole sharing economy has completely changed how we think about using things. So it just makes perfect sense to apply that same logic to a huge asset like property, right? And the benefits are seriously powerful. First, the cost to get in is way, way lower. And instead of dumping all your savings into one house, you can diversify. You could own a piece of an apartment in one city and a share of a vacation spot in another. And the best part, it's all professionally managed, so no late-night calls about a leaky faucet. You still get the real returns from rent and when the property value goes up, all inside a legal system that's made transparent by modern tech platforms. But of course, let's be real, no investment comes with zero risk. To make a smart call, you have to look at both sides of the coin. So let's get into a balanced view of the risks versus those very real rewards. First off, let's clear up a really common point of confusion. Fractional ownership is not a timeshare, not even close. With a timeshare, all you're buying is the right to use a place for like a week a year. It's basically a vacation plan. But with fractional ownership, you actually own the asset. You earn rent from it, you can sell your share. It's a true, genuine investment. Okay, so what are the actual risks you need to know about? Well, first, just like any property, its value can go up, but it can also go down with the market. Second, your returns really depend on how good of a job the management company is doing. Are they keeping it rented out? Are they maintaining it well? And finally, maintenance costs can go up over time, and that can cut into your profits. These are real things to think about. So, how do you deal with those risks? The single most important thing you can do is to choose a trusted, verified platform. This is what ensures that the properties are legally solid, like being RERA approved, and that the professional management is actually professional. It's really your number one shield. All right, let's bring this all home. For anyone out there who's just starting out, thinking about how to build a future, could fractional ownership be that crucial first step onto the property ladder? Because that's the real power here.
This model, it bridges the massive gap between wanting to invest in property and actually being able to do it. It lets you get into the market years, maybe even a decade earlier than you otherwise could have, letting you gain experience and start building a foundation for your financial future.
You know, this quote just nails it. In a world that's all about access and being flexible, fractional ownership isn't just some new way to own property.